Hello, my name's Trevor Fogar Griffiths from iDeLick Media, and in front of me we have the wonderful
Adunni or Adunni?
Adunni. Oh, okay, Adunni.
Adunni.
Adunni. That's sends shivers down my spine. But Adunni, we know you as Elizabeth sometimes as well. What's going on here?
Well, what's going on is my full name is Elizabeth Lami Ahoiza Adunni Haruna. So it's a Nigerian, I have a lot of Nigerian names there. And Adunni is one of the names that I use as a model.
Oh.
Elizabeth is my official name though.
Adunni. It's got such a ring to it. I like it.
Yeah.
Nigeria. Born there or?
I was born in Ilorin in Nigeria, but I came to England just as a baby, really. So I grew up in North West London, not far from Abbey Road Studios.
Not far from Abbey Road. Now, remind me if I'm right. That's somewhere in Finchley.
That is correct.
Hey.
Between St John's Wood and Finchley.
Oh, fantastic. I'm surprised I've got a bit of geographical knowledge of London. So, you know, Finchley, brothers and sisters, growing up with them, what it's like? Or
Growing up in London, North West London was really cool. I loved it. But at the time, I only had one sister. So it was my sister, myself, my mum and dad. And we lived in a kind of two-bedroom flat
older?
in London. She's younger than me. She's now a doctor.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dr. Lois. But now two more came along. So my mum had two boys. So there's Omaze and Adeza. They're both in high school now.
Okay. They're in high school in London? Or?
They both attend St Albans.
St Albans School.
Yeah.
That's in London.
That's actually in Hertfordshire.
Hertfordshire. Okay. Okay. Gosh, it seems like a long way to commute.
It's quite a long way to commute, but it's a very good school. It's got a very good reputation, and they work very hard.
Oh, congratulations! Well done to
Thank
them
you.
both. You're here for obviously the Paranormal Activity and Art Fashion Show.
I am.
And that takes place on the 30th.
Correct.
Which means it gives me a chance to, just basically sit down and have a nice little conversation with you because, it's not every time I really do get a chance to say hi to the models and find out what they're doing and seeing what's up in their lives and everything and actually just find out a bit of their interest, which I'm going to ask you, what is it do you get up to when you're not modelling?
What do I do? Well, when I'm not modelling, which is not very often because I love modelling and I model a lot, I love to swim.
Yes.
I love capoeira, which is Brazilian martial arts. The people that dress in whites and do cartwheels and things like that.
I hope you're going to invite me along to one of those.
I will. One of our batizados, our baptisms. That's where we get our new belts. What else do I like doing? I like listening to music. I like composing songs as well. Right, I like poetry.
Oh.
And I love movies. And I love attending movie premieres.
Guys, if you've got any tickets, you know where to send them. Send them at me and I'm sure I'll give them to Elizabeth. Now, talking about your education, I'd like to basically understand the background of your education because I know you're broadcasting, you're involved with some broadcasting and obviously the model. Can you just fill in the gaps for us?
What happened is I actually studied political science and then a further degree in broadcasting, broadcast journalism, and that was accredited by the Broadcast Journalism Training Council. So following that, I've kind of done some video journalism, some assistant producing, researching with different news channels, including OTV. And I've kind of done a lot of freelance videos as well. I filmed Close Show Live. I've interviewed Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child.
Wow.
Yeah, I love filming, I love editing, but I really love presenting as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, Elizabeth, let's go back a couple of years when I first met you. That sounds a little bit now there. When I first knew of your existence.
Yes. It
was in Luton.
That's correct.
Well, could you fill in the gaps?
Very exciting story. So that was 2011, was it? 10, 11? But yeah, there was a very exciting event happening, and that was a charity fashion show, an eco-couture charity fashion show. So that was organised by the Mighty Group, which is a youth foundation in Luton, and it was all about using recycled materials and charity clothing to create couture designs that young people could showcase. So we had some young stylists there, young models, young designers, and we worked with some amazing people as well behind the scenes. and we had some great sponsors, and I was actually presenting at that show, so
Yes,
it was a fabulous opportunity.
Yes, you were. Congratulations. Now, I'm just so fine about, really interested, what makes you tick? What makes you go? What kind of material do you turn to keep your spirit up?
I would say I turn to the Bible to keep my spirit up, because I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, and the Bible to me is like is a plan for life. It shows me the principles of how to live a good life, how to do right, and how to be blessed by God and be a blessing to other people as well.
Praise be.
And that's what really motivates me, inspires me in life.
Now, if let's say young model coming up, not knowing where to turn, what advice would you give them?
What advice I would give to people is, I guess, 3 steps. Number 1, get a portfolio done. Number 2, try and do time for prints. Don't spend so much money.
Time for prints.
Time for prints, which is you work with a photographer who will give you pictures for free, and you model for free. I'd advise that because you don't want to spend money when you've not yet earned money.
Okay. Now, I don't really want to endorse, how would I say, the giving away of photos, especially by professional photographers, because obviously they're professionals. But I guess the photographers you're talking about are the aspiring photographers.
Again, aspiring photographers, because I would say the third tip is really, as a new model, I guess what is being explored is your potential. So if you're lucky enough to have a friend or someone that's an amateur photographer or getting into that, then perhaps they might be able to do time for prints. But as you're saying, with time for prints, you have to have some guidelines as well, because you want to make sure you're working with the right photographer, amateur photographer, and not someone that is going to take advantage of you or the pictures. To make sure you've got control over the pictures that they are going to be given to you. They're not going to be used for ulterior purposes or disappear. So maybe you might want to go with a chaperone. Or
so in other words, you're talking about making sure that whatever is put in front of your face, check it before you sign it.
Definitely check it before you sign anything. Make sure there is a release form, so you know that you have got control, editorial control as well.
Yeah. Because obviously, being from that trade, it's about making sure that I keep control of my images, but there again, show good moral taste to whoever.
Most definitely.
And there again, we do get those briefs which require us to go that little extra, whereby we are showing a bit of flesh, partial nudity, whereby again that must be done under very disciplined control.
Very strict circumstances. That's correct. That's correct.
Now, again, your final tip for that model going out there in a big wild world.
Yeah, so final tip. I have paid for studio pictures before, and there is an advantage to that, and that's also beneficial if you've got the money too. Again, starting off, because really I think if you want to model, you've got to show you've got the enthusiasm and that you're willing to invest in yourself, because if you want anyone else to believe in you and invest in you, you've got to show that you're willing to put the investment in too. So I would say, as a aspiring model, invest in yourself so that other people are going to invest in you too.
That's right, yeah. And obviously, where there's investment, there's always going to be a bit of interest.
Most definitely.
Or if not, quite a big interest in a lot of the cases.
It's true.
To yourself as well.
Thank
you. One thing I've noticed about you, and I'm getting from you, is that you come up like you've been well supported. Good parentage, should I say. What's it like growing up with mum and dad?
Growing up with mum and dad, it's been interesting, it's been fun, it's been varied. I guess I've always felt like I've had an extended family in a sense. Although I was born in Nigeria and grew up in the UK, with the black community, with church community, it feels like a whole massive family there. So I feel the support has come from always knowing there's family friends down the road, there's an auntie and uncle coming to visit. There are always people around there. There's always someone encouraging, whether it's my father or my brothers, to show me support.
Now, there's one thing I always love about families, and it's the other F that goes with family. Yeah, the F-O-O-D.
Food, of course.
Come on, tell us about food. What do you like getting your teeth into after?
Food that's a funny one. In my house, we're Nigerian, so I just remember growing up, my dad eats nothing other than Nigerian food. And some people say, oh, you've got a very British accent, but you're Nigerian. Do you actually know how to cook Nigerian food? Sure. I can cook any Nigerian food. I can cook akara, akamu, I can cook pounded yam, egusi, okra stew, and that's okra.
I'm going to hold you there, yeah, because, you're not only building interest, you're kind of a bit of an attraction to a lot of guys out there. So, just for the record, do you have someone in your life?
There is someone I'm seeing at the moment.
Yes. Guys, get out of here. Yeah, taken. Good. So, the reason why I'm going to ask that question because we don't want a load of guys. Sorry, it's making me laugh. But no, very good. What would you say is a really good evening for you when you're relaxing? What do you like to do?
It's quite varied. I love going out. I love watching movies. I actually prefer going to movie premieres and VIP programs and events and model parties. I was at one just the other day for Danish Wakil. I actually also love sometimes spending a quiet evening at home, which doesn't happen very often. Again, watching movies, kind of having a little mini spa in my home.
Because I want to ask you about favorite model.
Okay. I don't have one favourite model. I'm inspired by so many people, but they do include Tyra Banks for her on-screen personality, her vision, the way she motivates other people and encourages them to fulfill their potential. Iman, I really admire what she's accomplished in the industry, and also Alex Weck.
Alex Weck, can't go wrong there, definitely. Favorite designer?
Favorite designer? I can't say that I have one again. There are many designers that I love, and I'm working towards the earning capacity where I can begin to wear some of my really favorite designers that are really high fashion. So I'm hoping to get some of those bigger modeling contracts so that I can begin to flaunt some of those designers. But actually growing up, it's quite a funny story. I guess I've always been interested in fashion, and I've always made sure that I didn't wear labels when I was young, because at school everyone was flaunting the labels, and I thought I don't want to just be so lazy and just show a label. I want to show them style. Yeah. So I'd always make a point of not wearing labels so no one could copy mine.
Oh, cool. Favorite person in the or favorite people in the fashion industry?
Okay, favorite people in the fashion industry. That's a massive question.
That was a trick question. Yeah, I know I'm being a bit unfair there.
And the reason why
I wouldn't say favorite people. I think what I should have actually said was, favorite type of work you enjoy doing within the fashion industry.
Okay, again, I'm someone that is interested in so many things. So, in one sentence, my favorite thing I'd say is modeling. But within
let's put it a bit straight. Catwalk.
Okay.
Photos, editorial, or standstill exhibitions.
I would say runways, catwalks, especially high fashion couture. I've done photo shoots, I've been in movies, I've done extra work, I've done all different types of kind of modeling, but commercial as well. But kind of editorial runways at the moment is what I'm really finding fun.
Oh, fantastic. Is there anyone you could say that has sort of like been there for you throughout this journey?
I'd say I'm quite an independent person, so most times I've really kind of supported and motivated myself. I do have some ardent fans and loyal friends who kind of have been there, albeit anonymously, quietly on the sidelines, supporting me along the way. So it hasn't been one person, actually. It's been me kind of motivating myself, fueling my dream.
You know the reason why I'm asking that question, because, you hear about some models, they kind of like get in and then they go out and they say, oh, we don't have any friends and all this and all that. But, how important is it to put yourself out there just as much as, you sort of like have people put themselves towards you, recognizing that it's about being professional?
That's very true. What you're saying is spot on. From the beginning of my modeling, something that I've always strove to do is to mark myself out as a professional. There are so many wannabes out there. Every time I tell someone I'm a model, they're like, oh, I want to model, or I used to model, or I want to model, or modeling is hard, modeling. There's so many wannabe models, and there's so many models. So I think to myself, how am I going to be different to everyone else? And that's through being a professional. I am who I am the statistics I am, the height that I am, the weight that I am. What's going to make me different to someone else with the same statistics? It's going to be my attitude, and it's going to be my level of professionalism. So that's something that I really try and perfect and make perfect everywhere that I go.
Fantastic. Now, I just want you to sum everything up for again, an aspiring model? And just sum it up so that, how would I say, we can ensure that we're being responsible, because basically that's why we're here.
Sure.
It's not about enjoying what we do, it's about making sure that others understand what we do and the basic requirements of what we do. So could you please sum it up?
I would say for an aspiring model, believe in yourself. There's so much sometimes that can set someone back. Some people, you might not be right for a particular casting. They might want you to change your hair or your look. I think it takes a strong individual to survive and to be a success in modeling, to know yourself and remain true to yourself in spite of all the changes that happen. And still enjoy the journey along the way.
Fantastic. Now, I've got to thank you very much for sitting with me and having a chat with me. Finally, what I'm going to ask is, if you wish to be found, how can we find you?
Okay, if anyone want to look me up, book me for shows. If you Google Adunni, Adunni, I'm on Facebook. I've got a website as well that should come up in Google, Adunni. My website is dreampw.moonfruit.com. That was dreampw.moonfruit.com.
Thank you, Adunni.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
Thank you, Trevor.
Trevor Griffiths, thank you all. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.